gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner.
What's up, YouTube? I'm Reza.
And I'm Puja.
And you're my little cutie pie. And welcome to our channel. This past weekend, myself and my beautiful queen Puja, we just celebrated our 1-year wedding anniversary.
Every time you make me nervous and I lose my words. It's been a while since I forgot the most simple words. I feel calm when you're around, like nothing can break me.
I cannot believe it's already been 1 year. It honestly feels like yesterday or like a week ago we just had our wedding.
Literally August 8th, 2020, we got married. And now today is August 10th, 2021.
I don't know where the time flew.
Guys, we've been reflecting a lot and thinking back to all the amazing times. This last year, I feel like I've grown the most. I've smiled the biggest. I've laughed the most, thank God. And I just think having a partner, especially someone as good as Puja, I think it's just like, I feel like life just becomes so bright.
We get to do it with each other.
Oh, but at the same time, I feel like this last year has taught me a ton.
And it's definitely taught me a ton.
So we're gonna go through the top 10 things that Reza and Puja have learned in their first year of marriage.
It's about to go down.
So the first thing we learned in our first year of marriage is always make sure you're filling your love bucket. I feel like with us some days, like we're so busy, we're kind of just moving at a mile a minute.
Working, like going through little different routines of life so fast, and then you stop and realize like, I'm not really feeling kind of happy, or I'm a little sad right now.
When we realize like so much time has been passing, we haven't really been able to just like savor life, that's when we realize we need to fill our love bucket.
So the one big thing that fills Reza and Puja's love bucket is
getting cozy. We both get nice and showered up. We get in our most comfy pajamas. We turn the AC down to 67 degrees.
We turn the humidifier on with like an essential oil of eucalyptus. And then we also we light up a candle. And we're just sitting in bed, all cozied up, watching Grey's Anatomy or Manifest or one of our favorite TV shows, knowing that we're gonna like watch 3 or 4 episodes before we knock out. They're so cute. In those moments, Rez and I feel so recalibrated. We're in like the best moods. And we so encourage you guys to do this. Find what your love bucket is, because like ours makes us so happy. When feelings get worked up, press pause.
Pause, baby.
This is something that I feel like still happens all the time.
Yeah, it's so real.
But we're learning.
Yeah.
And what it means is a lot of the time, one of us, usually me, can get really emotional about whatever it might be, life, little things that happen, conflicts. And something that Reza does is like, as soon as he sees me like turn my feelings up a little bit or getting a little angry or getting a little sad, he goes, hold up. Stop.
You can obviously feel when your significant other is starting to like spiral into a negative feeling or feeling sad or angry. So like, I try to get ahead of it and be like, okay, what's wrong? Like, what's causing you to feel like this? Let's just like quickly nip it in the bud before it continues to linger and grow. Obviously, like no couple's perfect. These things do happen. But you just want to make sure you're communicating early and often to make sure when those things ever do come up, you quickly get rid of it.
Before it turns into a big tornado.
Always assume positive intent. So there's been some situations where maybe Puja does something, maybe the way she like, we're cooking in the kitchen, she says something, and maybe I didn't like what she said, or maybe I have done something and she's like, why would Reza say that? And you immediately want to feel a negative emotion and get mad at the person, but it's just like, okay, let me just stop. Just assume positive intent. Give that person a chance to like retract, apologize, and just keep moving forward.
Yeah, and it takes maturity to think like that, because I feel like it's so easy to feel that negative energy, to be mad at somebody, especially your person.
Yeah.
But it's a lot harder to like assume positive intent, but it's honestly helped us so much. Have midday hugs with each other. It just makes you feel so cute.
I think for both me and Puja, quality time is definitely the #1 love language. But physical touch, anytime during the day,
Number 2.
I think we hug each other, what, like 45 times a day?
Like every time I make eye contact with Reza after a work meeting, I'm just like,
Yeah. Give each other hugs, hug each other often. It just makes you feel happy. It just grounds you. And one thing, I'll quote my dad on this one, and Bapu on this one. They always said, especially when you have kids, hug your wife, your husband in front of your kids. Show them what it looks like to love somebody and show affection towards somebody. And it just makes you feel so happy and good. So that's a big plus. Hug your spouse. It'll make you smile. And if it doesn't make you smile, then there's a bigger problem to solve. But we won't get into that.
surround yourself with people who enable your marriage.
So obviously we all have friends that we had when we were single, that maybe we had good vibes, we were able to mesh well. But once you got married, were you still able to mesh well with them? Did they really connect with your significant other? Mm-hmm. Did it always feel like you had to kind of turn off your married self, hang out with them, then turn yourself back on with your wife? Or did you feel like you were able to be consistent all the way throughout? That is really the goal. If you're able to be consistent all the way throughout, they really love your significant other, your wife or your husband. You can bring your wife or your husband with those friends. That's the right friends that you want to have. But if it seems like they're just really not meshing well and the type of activities they want to partake in, your wife or husband doesn't, you have to reassess your friends. And honestly, you're going to probably have to drop those friends.
I think over time, Rez and I both have learned quality over quantity. Like, we've drifted apart and said goodbye to many, many friends that we had when we were single. Because honestly, the goal of life and the goal of a great marriage is the two individuals in that marriage should be evolving and growing and, becoming the best version of themselves together. And naturally, you'll have to say goodbye to your past for so many different reasons because of that. Make laughter the soundtrack of your marriage. You guys, I cannot tell you how many jokes we've pulled out of nowhere by just having a regular conversation with each other. Like, we laugh about everything.
Don't take life too seriously. No matter what happens, find a reason to laugh about it. Because a lot of times, if you laugh about it, your other person will also want to laugh about it too.
Yeah.
Because laughing is contagious. So we're always trying to find ways to laugh.
Yeah, I find that.
Realize that every strong marriage rarely ever has two strong people at the same time. What that means is marriage is all about balance.
Yeah.
I think back to last year, especially during the whole COVID pandemic, right in the beginning of it, there were so many times where I was just so down, I was stressed with work, I was in a bad mood. And in those times, you stepped up so big, where it's you were so energetic and positive and just injecting life into my days.
Smile, my boy.
And I mean, similarly, I feel like I definitely get more emotional, in the relationship. And those are the times where Reza is making me laugh the most. He's constantly making jokes with me when he knows that I'm just feeling a little bit off put. And he just knows what I need when I need it. And I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, I can literally feel the balance. I literally feel when I'm down, I notice Puja picks up naturally. Then when she's down, I notice I automatically pick up naturally. It's just a perfect balance. I see it happen all the time.
Yeah, it's just having that synergy with each other. Realize that marriage isn't 50-50. It's 100-100.
Especially, I think, when it comes to, in our culture, each other's families are always so important. But the worst thing is if, say for example, we go to Puja's house, say maybe 2 weekends in a row, for example. And then I end up saying Puja, okay, are we gonna spend time with my family this weekend? That just ends up being such a toxic thing. You don't want it to be where it's like, hey, like we did 3 of your things, now it's time to do my things. And it becomes this tug of war. And I was very aware of this early on, that we had to make sure we got ahead of this. Is like, in terms of doing stuff with her family or whatever it is, that's my job. And Puja's job is to advocate for my family.
Like, we are the biggest cheerleader for each other's family versus being our own cheerleaders for our own families. Never, and I mean never, talk poorly about your spouse to your family or your friends or any time behind their back. Because at the end of the day, if you are having an argument or a tiff with your spouse, there is no one else that can solve it but you two. So there is no need to gossip or kind of vent your feelings to other people, because you want to paint your person in the best light possible, because that's what they are, the best thing that's ever happened to you.
And lastly, I think that one of the most important things that we have learned in our first year of marriage is to never normalize the amazing life that you have with your significant other.
And that lesson is actually why we love reflecting, because think about it. You're married, you're sitting next to your person right now, and remember a time when you were begging just to be with that person, to hang out with that person, to call that person, like have a conversation with them.
I'm a wreck without you!
There were so many times where like I'd be texting Reza all night, I'd be waiting for his FaceTime call, I'd be crying in bed, missing him. And all I wished for was to like hang out with him or just sleep next to him or whatever that little thing is. And now as a married couple, we do that every single day.
The dreams of yesterday have become the reality of today, but we so easily normalize it that we don't realize, like, I was literally like wishing I had what I have right now. Like the fact that I'm next to Puja right now and I can call her my wife, like that's incredible. And I think we are always trying to just never normalize life, because all these amazing things are happening every single day as you're growing as a couple, and you just have to savor it.
That is it, you guys. The big lessons we learned as a married couple for 1 year.
It's been an incredible year full of tons of learnings, tons of amazing moments. I'll never forget, this is our first year of marriage, probably one of the most like monumental ones, but I'm so excited to see what year number 2 looks like.
1 year down and a lifetime to go.
Cutie pie. So I hope all you guys watching, hope this video was super valuable to you. Definitely let us know your favorite lessons in marriage and in life as a married couple in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. But I hope you guys were inspired, learned something new, maybe you can change something in your own routine to help have a much more fulfilling and love-filled relationship. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up below. And we have a ton of amazing content coming this month, guys. Please subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified every single time we upload, because we have a lot of fun stuff planned for you guys. Without further ado, I'm Reza.
And I'm Puja.
And we're signing off.
We are so easily